Maury Wills. I think that Maury, and I oftentimes have referred to him as the godfather of the base path.
Any guy who can ignite an offense like Maury did is almost invaluable in terms of his inspiration and his leadership ability. And to me personally, he was the most important player we had on our team because he was like a father to me.
Maury, to me, was one of the brightest young men I've ever been around. He really uplifted the game.
Again, an important part of all of the things that made the Dodgers in those days. But it was the inner strength of Maury more than anything else.
The gentleman Dodger players affectionately call Uncle Maury, Mr. Maury Wills.
I walked out of the Dodger Stadium administrative offices, and I walked out into that empty stadium. I could hear the echo of go, go, go. And the rafters were bending at Dodger Stadium. Go, go. I'll always hear that.
With his 2 feet, he single-handedly changed the way baseball was played in the early 60s. As quick as Maurice Morning Wills he was anything but an overnight success. It took Maury 8.5 years to finally make his Dodger debut in 1959. It wasn't because he couldn't play. It was long before the days of free agency, and the incumbent shortstop was future Hall of Famer and team captain Pee Wee Reese. And so Wills had to wait patiently, which was something he couldn't and rarely did on the base paths during his 14-year major league career. In high school in Washington, D.C., Sonny Wills, as he was known then, was a 3-sport star, an all-city quarterback, basketball standout, and a pitcher. When he signed with Brooklyn in 1950, he wanted a bonus of $6,000. Instead, he was offered a new suit. After turning down the new suit, he would settle for a $500 signing bonus. And then the journey began. 1,100 minor league games, where he honed his skills, learned to switch hit, bunt, and run the bases. Wills always wanted to be a Dodger because of Jackie Robinson, with whom he played on barnstorming off-season tours in the postseason throughout the Deep South in the early 50s. Wills was a practitioner of small ball and would soon alter the trajectory of how the game would be played. He made his major league debut in 1959 and would play in all 6 games in the Dodgers World Series championship run. By 1960, in his first full season, the switch-hitting Wills batted .295 and stole 50 bases, the most in the National League in 36 years. 2 years later, Maury shattered the Major League stolen base record with 104, set by Ty Cobb back in 1915. Wills stole more bases in 1962 than any other team in the major leagues that year. Wills hit .299 with 208 hits, 179 singles, won the Gold Glove, played in every game, and beat out Willie Mays as the National League's most valuable player. All eyes were always on Maury, the opposing pitcher and catcher. His mere presence had the opposing team constantly playing on their heels and the fans on their feet. Wills was a 7-time All-Star, 6-time stolen base leader, 3-time World Series champion, 2-time Gold Glove winner, and the most valuable player in 1962. After his playing career, in the early 80s, Maury became a Dodger spring training instructor, teaching young players on the fine art of bunting and base stealing in a place that would eventually become known as Maury's Pit. One of his favorite players was a young speedster, Dave Roberts, who wears jersey number 30 to this day to honor his mentor. And it was Maury's voice in Roberts' head with his 9th inning stolen base in Game 4 of the 2004 ALCS that led the Red Sox back from their historic 3-0 deficit against the Yankees and on to their eventual World Series championship. 11 years later, when Roberts was named the first African-American manager of the Dodgers, Maury was sure to be at the news conference for his protege and his mentor. In baseball parlance, Maury Wills was a banjo hitter. No power, but he'd paper cut the opposition to death with precision defense, base hits, and speed. Maury was also a pretty fair banjo player and coach, and a beloved member of the Dodgers family.